So this is a question that came in on our website. My 3-year-old nonverbal son loves when you sing for him. He loves YouTube, kids cocomelon. He's not given much screen time because when he does, he spits on the iPad screen a lot. When you take it away from him and turn on the TV, he does the same thing. He does not want a chewy stick or a chewy necklace. He receives regular ABA, OT, and speech services, wondering if there is another intervention procedure that we could try to help him reduce or refrain from spitting.
Unfortunately, this is one of the behaviors that you're going to have to, it's a try and see method, because throughout all ABA, you're really, when you have your BCBA come in, they need to do an FBA, a functional behavior assessment on the behavior. A lot of people will go straight to chewy sticks, and though that helps with certain types of chewing problem behaviors, what I've found is it's actually usually something else. Like they don't know how to swallow their own spit, or they're thirsty. And you know how when you're thirsty, you salivate more, and they just don't know how to swallow or to drink water when they're thirsty, and they don't recognize. There's a lot of different, other skills that are missing. And, a lot of people will go to the chewy stick just because it's an assumption that maybe they need that type of stimulation. But I would say, you're going to work with your BCBA to figure out, what's the function, and beyond automatic. A lot of times and automatic basically means anything like that is intrinsically, the child's intrinsically desiring and doing that behavior and getting some kind of satisfaction from it. But work with your OT, really look at the sensory aspect and say, is there a sensory aspect? Is it the chewing? Is it just not knowing how to swallow when they should, or not being thirsty and not knowing to get some water? Or if it's just excitement, how to be excited. And it could be that he gets overly stimulated, and there's a whole theory on that in the sensory, integration world. But a lot of times it's just showing our kids what is it about this video that he likes? And he probably is a visual learner, just the fact that he likes looking at the video. And if you can take the visual learning aspect and get your BCBA to really take off and probe, that area of understanding, then, all the better, because it just shows you want to figure out, just like you do with all the neurotypical kids, is how do you learn best? And we already know that with autism, that one of the issue early on is they don't learn like everybody else. So you have to help them figure out, how do they learn? Are they better with the auditory stimulation? Are they with the visual? What is their strength? And then taking their strength and using it so that they can learn everything else, or at least have it be a portal to learning. And really, use that information to help him learn in as many places as possible.
So, not to put too fine of a point on it, but since you've said that you are somebody who's getting ABA, we're going to assume that you're getting good quality ABA. So then at this point, you've noticed a challenging behavior. You should immediately go back to the person who is your supervisor on that case, your board certified behavior analyst, and ask for a meeting to talk about that behavior. And then they will go through a process where they figure out first what the function of the behavior is, and then they will implement a strategy, and they will teach you in the strategy what to do. And it could be a lot of different things like Evelyn just discussed. And they will see if it works, and they will adjust accordingly. But this is a fairly common behavior, spitting, right, Evelyn? And that there are tons of interventions depending on what the function of the behavior is. And my memory of this is, if you try to shortchange it and just jump to the end, you miss the whole thing. Yeah. You miss the whole point.
Yeah. So it just comes back.
Yeah. And we were all taught in my generation, you punish it. Well, that doesn't work. We've all seen that doesn't work. And so there are a bunch of things that they can do to help you, but it really starts with saying to the person who is in charge of designing the program for your child, here's this behavior, I want to work on it. And here's the thing, Evelyn, I know as a parent who did this, we forget sometimes that that's step one. We just forget.
Yeah.
Right. I got
Well, and I feel like a broken record sometimes, because, but it really does go back to that every time, you know? And it's once you figure out the function, then that's when all the creativity comes, you know, it's figuring
yes.
out how to address it. But you really do have to go back to like, why is this person doing this? It's just like you would do with, I liken it back to just all the different people we interact with. When somebody behaves badly or in an odd way, there's a reason.
Yes, there
There's
is a
always a
reason.
reason for why that person's behaving that way. And it's the same thing for our kids. There's a reason for this. But for our kids, they don't have the communication skills to tell you. So it comes out in different forms. And then also, like, there are things going on with their bodies. And you get a typical little kid out there, if they wake up, or if we wake up on the wrong side of the bed and our bodies just don't feel good, we behave a certain way.
But here's the hopeful part. Once you figure out what you think the reason is, then it becomes much clearer how to intervene successfully. Yes. You become effective. Okay, we have a bunch of questions coming in live, but I want to ask one more question that was asked before. I have like 10 of them that I really wanted to get to, but I want to get to the live ones. Thanks for watching Autism Live. If you found anything helpful in this video, please give us a like. In fact, make sure that you smash that subscribe button on YouTube and give us a like on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram for important updates. And please download our free podcast wherever you get your podcasts. See you next time. Until then, give your kiddos a hug from me and one for you too. Bye-bye for now. To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.